Can you hear me? Okay. What? No, I see what you're wearing too. Oh my God.
Right. When you were telling me that, and I looked at my dress and was like, oh, it's one of those days.
Wow.
Mercury is truly retrograde, but I'm not even. Let's not give Mercury retrograde more attention than it deserves.
Right.
It's good. Welcome one and all to episode 114 of Peace Talk. If y'all saw the episode with Christy, Aphrodite, and the interference we had, just prepare yourselves. This is gonna be one of those talks.
I'm gonna try to also like get this on my phone and see. Will that mess it up?
No, not at all.
Never? Okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
And your camera is on, right? It's just not showing up.
Yeah, the camera is on. The camera is literally on.
When I tell you guys, we had 45 minutes. I was literally like, yes, I'm going to be early for a peace talk. We were literally here for like 45 minutes earlier, just getting interfered. Ridiculous.
You know what? I'm also, you know what? I'm going to put on Instagram Live too. So you can see me on Instagram Live. I'm just going to do that. And I'm going to try to get this camera working, but we kind of have to just go, the show must go on, right?
No, absolutely. And yeah, I think this is, for those who don't know, she's a Pisces sun. So this is a perfect example of Neptune retrograde. It's like, no, I'm not going to show you my representative. People hating ass vibes. So
it's all gotta be just, there we go. Okay, you can see me on Instagram Live. So if you need to see my face.
Wait, we need to invoke the power of magic, guys. If we all join our wills together, we can make her camera work. Go Moon Bay! Go Moon Bay!
Oh,
go Moon Bay!
I'm like looking at the setting. Like I'm gonna show people. Like, look. You can see it. Oops. You can see that my camera, it's on. See, right there, it's on.
On the Google part?
Yeah.
Yo, they're hating on you. They are hating on you right now. Can we establish this? Like, does this mean anything? That Mercury's retrograde?
Listen, between my guides blocking me for their reasons, and then interference from like darker energies and like people hating and sending black magic curses and all that stuff like that, between all of that, and you and I have talked about this, it's a struggle. It is a struggle. Yes.
And I mean, I'm not really surprised because the moon is like dead square Mercury retrograde and it's opposite Uranus right now. So they're totally hating because Eranah and I are going to do a very potent ritual that's going to rock your ish. So we're gonna play a very special song right now
I mean, we might as well because.
Oh hell no! Now they playing with me. My screen share doesn't work all of a sudden.
What?
Like, just all of a sudden, just nope. We're just gonna choose not to work today.
No.
Not today, Satan. Not today, Satan. Oh wow. All weird. But when you deal with Uranus, I guess it's, oh, I'm being screen shared. Oh, snap.
So
Which might actually work.
I don't know how but I can't get it to screen share me.
On what if you
I
had
can't
another
get
platform open? Do you?
What?
Do you have? Do you happen to have
another camera?
Yeah, maybe that's why it's like if you had Skype on or something like that.
No, I don't have Skype on.
I see you on Instagram. Yeah, maybe that's why it's not like if you had
Oh.
like that.
No, I don't have Skype
I
on.
see you on Instagram.
Okay, I feel like we just have to go with it. What did I do? Oh my god.
Oops.
Okay. My face.
Oh my god. Oh, that's wild. Yeah, what in the Mercury retrograde is going on? That's the $1 million question.
It's a Mercury retrograde party over here.
Oh my goodness.
How do I get out of this screen share thing for you?
Oh, I think you're out of it. Yeah, you're not in it anymore. We don't see it on our end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, you were gonna pull cards for all of us too. They hate on that as well.
You just gotta listen to the sound of my voice. For those of you who are tuning in on YouTube.
Did you try, and you probably did, but did you try unplugging it and plugging it back in?
I did. I reloaded the page and then everything was gone for a second. I was like, what did I do? That's when my face was like, what did I do?
Oh my god, that's wild.
Yeah, we tried.
Damn.
Watch, tomorrow it'll work.
That okay. Well, there's another way. There is another way.
Everybody get some water while you're waiting, and while you are patiently waiting for all of this stuff to calm down.
Right? This is pretty insane. Well, how are you doing, by the way? Interference aside.
You know what? I do not let it get to me. I do not let it get to me. If I do let it get to me, it's only for a moment, and I have a great support system of like-minded individuals who we all gather together and rally around each other. And like when one person is having a bad day, we can reach out to each other and help each other out. So that's really important. Community is really important.
Super important.
And you're part of that community for me, Mike, for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And yeah, I mean, happy lunar return, by the way, as well.
That's probably why this is like messed up too. Just the moon.
No, definitely.
The moon is in a fall in Scorpio, right?
So they say. I think that's unfair to say, but yeah. No, actually they say Venus. Oh yeah, no, yeah. Because since it's exalted in Taurus, it would be the fall in Scorpio. But I don't know. I've never met a moon in Scorpio that wasn't spooky.
I'm spooky.
Yeah.
But like a good spooky.
Like everything about this talk so far, even before this, has been completely.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, we were talking about Stranger Things earlier, and they over dramatize it for Hollywood, but it's really real. Like that's my life. I'm that kid that gets like abducted and taken over to the other side, and then all of a sudden he just like stares off into space and he's like on the other side. That's me. Being a Pisces, you have one fish in the 3D world, and then you have one fish over on the other side of the veil. So it's very easy to just kind of float through each side.
True that.
My life. Yeah.
Do you have? Uh-oh. Do you happen to have Facebook at all?
I don't have Facebook.
You don't have Facebook.
I've deleted Facebook like 2 weeks ago.
You do have Skype though.
I have Skype.
Yeah, I'm attempting to call you on Skype, but
Okay, I
since
might
this
have
is
to
on,
turn the Instagram off then. You're calling me on Skype.
or how about you can try calling me? Oh no, it's calling you.
Why am I not getting the call though?
Oh, it says you're not online.
What?
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
oh, you know what? I changed my phone number.
Yeah.
I don't have that phone number anymore. Wow, this is really bad.
Wow. Yeah. Uh, it's
So
like it's kind of like a good bad though.
it's a good bad.
Yeah.
It's always a good bad.
Huh.
And now they're like, not. They're saying like I'm trying to like create a Skype. That's not gonna work. They're saying my number is not.
Mm-hmm.
What about?
You're still live on Instagram. That's cool.
And I just turned it off. What about this?
Oh, okay. Well, you can join on your phone if you use the link.
What link?
If you access the link I emailed you from your phone, and you have Hangouts on your phone, you can just use that clearly works.
Wow. Okay.
All right, we about to get online soon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's going down.
Whew, man. Get your water ready. We're gonna do a water ritual.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because there's stuff I want to show you. I want to show you this plane, and I want to show you. I have like organite. Oops. Okay. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We did it. There's an echo.
We are victorious.
Oh.
We are victorious. We did it.
Yes, we did it. We did it. High five.
High five. I'm more pumping it up. Word. Oh, I should. Does the water have to be in a glass or is plastic okay?
Plastic is fine.
Yay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Whew. Well, nice to have you. Nice to see you.
Good to be seen.
I'm so glad too. It looks heavenly above you right now. Very much so.
I'm actually sitting in front of my altar, so got some good energy. I don't have any candles lit or anything like that, but I do altar work. I do circle work. I work with the elements and things like that. So we're gonna do a water ritual because the moon is in Scorpio, like you mentioned earlier.
Oh snap! You got those altar eyes, those witchy eyes. Like, yeah, it's going down, just like mad calm, and like everything's gonna be cool. So, what are your? So we know your Scorpio moon and Pisces sun, but what's your rising sign?
It's a Virgo. Yeah,
Oh,
my Virgo rising, like that helps me to stay organized. Like it helps me to like keep my to-do list. Like I have like 4 pages of to-do lists because I actually have my midheaven is in Gemini. And so I do like several different jobs. I'm a freelancer, I'm a graphic artist, I'm an artist. I make holistic products. I'm a reader. I'm a Reiki master teacher. So I do a lot of different things. And my Virgo rising just helps me to keep it all organized, and attention to detail is really important, things like that. So
kudos to you being a Reiki master. Reiki is still highly controversial. So I really love when people like you do it because like you're legit. So it like doesn't matter. Do you even have a certificate?
I do. Yep. I have Reiki master teacher level. That's the 4th level of Reiki. And I'm planning on continuing with some higher level attunements in the future. But the Reiki master teacher is it's a really good level to have because then you can teach others and attune others to Reiki, which I've done also. And I actually just had a Reiki session with a client today, and it was a deeply profound experience. Like every time I do a Reiki session, it's just a really amazing experience. I am also intuitive. I'm a reader, so like I get a lot of intuitive information through the Reiki session itself, also, and through the healing. I was able to pick up on some information about like this person's past life and the stuff that they're working through now and how that relates to past life karma and things like that. So it can get very deep. But it was funny because I was telling this client, I was like, the intuitive information that I get, that I receive in the session, it's a conversation between me and their subconscious mind and their higher self. Like their higher self is not going to show me anything that is not necessary for me to see, or is something that they're not ready for me to be privy to. Like I'm not going to go in and like find out their deep dark secrets and all this stuff, you know what I mean, unless it's like something that is pertinent to the session, important for the session. So so I get a lot of interesting visuals and through clairvoyance, through clairaudience information that comes through the session, along with the physical healing that Reiki does amazingly. So
Yeah, and I'm tripped out because you getting a Reiki certificate is like God just coming down and getting a college degree. The irony is just so like wow to me. And Scorpio moons are always like, I never go into people's secrets. But then their moon is like, their secrets come to me.
They do.
And seriously. Y'all do that all the time. Like, I think I'm going to have a regular conversation. And then you just bring out of nowhere, oh, by the way, like, your dead grandma's been trying to hit you up. And it's like, I never told anybody that, though. Like how do you know this? How do you know this? And you say it so casually, too. Like, it's not like a superpower or something. Like, I don't understand.
I have literally done that to somebody, and it weirded them out. But the thing is that I don't take this work lightly at all. And so like when I get something like that, when I get somebody's deceased, um, you know, parent or grandparent or something coming through, if it's not in a session, if it's just in passing, like somebody that I know, and it's not something that they came to me and asked about, I tread that path very carefully because they didn't come to me, they may not be ready for that information. And so like I kind of sit on it, I wait on it, I ask for guidance with it, and I'm like, okay, like is this person ready for that information? Like will they be receptive to it? Is it important for them to know it now? And so in this case specifically, um this person's dead parent, who they never really met because they passed away when they were really young, like just kept coming to me, kept just, and they came in my heart. It mostly felt like this overwhelming unconditional love that like only a parent could have for their child. And I don't have children, so I'm like, I don't know what this is about, where this is coming from. And that was happening like day after day after day. And eventually I just got my notebook and I was like, okay, I'm gonna sit down with this energy, with this person who's crossed over, and I'm gonna do automatic writing, and I'm just gonna listen. I'm just gonna write down what it is that they want to say, the message that they want to convey. And then I gave the message. I passed the message on, and it was taken seriously by this person, and they took it, and I'm not exactly sure what they did with that information, but because that person is very intuitive themselves, but I just think that they, at the time at least, were not open-minded enough to really want to investigate that for themselves, like the fact that they could talk to their parent who had crossed over. Sometimes when it's too emotional and it's too close, things can get clouded.
Well, let's talk about that because, like true to your sun and moon, mediumship is something that is not even like half taken serious, which is super sad because the existence of ghosts and like spirits are beyond real. And I literally saw a Minute Physics video. uh Check out Minute Physics if you haven't. It's pretty fascinating content. But
Okay.
one of his videos, he did say, because he breaks down physics basically in like a minute, or even though some are like over a minute. And one thing he said that didn't strike a chord in me. I know he was saying that because that's what is empirically seen as true. But what he said was something to the effect, and I'm paraphrasing here, but like something that cannot be measured doesn't really exist, and you can Occam razor it out of the equation. For example, like a soul, like you can't really measure a ghost. I mean, you could, but you can't really measure a ghost. You can't really measure a soul and argue it exists. So you're really only just like atoms and molecules, and that's kind of really it. And I mean, you can argue that the soul is comprised of that too, but you're dealing with energy that is unseen. You're dealing with realms of existence like dreams that can't be quantified, and so they literally just rule you out of reality as if you don't exist. I'm sure that could be pretty painful.
Or they just put me over here in a box, like, oh, you're just one of those crazy people, or you're just, you know what I mean? Like they roll their eyes and they're just like, all right, whatever. Like, um, and you know what? Like, I came here with this gift. I remember just being a kid and being very sensitive to things, seeing spirit, talking to spirit, seeing fairies, seeing elementals, things like that. And I've always been a dreamer. That's really how I kind of started investigating this, was like by analyzing dreams. And looking back in hindsight, I realized like I came here with these gifts and this purpose, to use the gifts. And but when you're a kid, people just look at you like, oh, you're just a kid, that's just your imagination or whatever. But what is imagination? Like, our imagination is access to certain realms and ideas that don't exist, you know, like Edison had a dream and that helped him discover like how to create the light bulb, I think. Um and I think that it's like on the surface, I think people kind of see it as like, yeah, they can dismiss any kind of metaphysical thing. But I think that actually, when you dig down, even into like the lives of great thinkers, like they they did give credence to something that was greater than them and outside of them, and like dreams were important, insights, intuition, things like that. And so I think that's why it's kind of cycling back, and like more people are tapping into their intuition, because we all have access to our intuition. All have access to our subconscious mind, which is limitless in what it knows. And what, you just got to dive into that. You got to dive deep into yourself. You got to not be afraid to sit with yourself and meditate and trust yourself. Really, my number one rule is trust yourself.
And I mean, if we bring back the wisdom of your energy, um, well, first and foremost, yeah, it's interesting how people can dismiss dreams as not really being, as credible of a resource when it really makes up more than what most people know. And especially, as they say, it's how the subconscious mind talks to you. But what I really wanted to say was, Pisces usually has that fog around, not fog, but like that mystical shroud of mystery. And we have seen throughout the ages people take or hide behind that fog and take this magical energy and use it to like fraud people and deceive people. I mean, I've personally, when I used to be a keen psychic, or where like people could like buy like at a rate, I mean, you would just see people making a living off of cold reading people, like completely fraudulent behavior. Because I would like to just call the psychics up, just see like, all right, like who's good, who's not, and a lot of people just tell you what you want to hear. So I mean, when you take a craft like mediumship, like Reiki, like everything that you do, it's so legendarily rare to find someone who's actually legit, and that kind of also impedes into being in that field. Like a lot of people are dead set on the fact, or are dead set on what they believe is the fact that such stuff is fraudulent behavior. They'll get very emotional. But I've also seen and experienced people who become believers, like it's never because someone proved it to them. It's like they had a special experience of their own, that when they were ready to humble themselves. I can imagine that that's how it's like in relationships with you, where you might get
Yeah.
gaslighted ridiculously. Like, oh, she's talking about her intuition again.
Oh gosh. Bless all the people who have co-created and shared space with me. Because I can hear people's thoughts, especially the more intimate I become with them. And that, I have learned from experience, is not always a positive thing, because no one wants no one wants to be told what they're thinking. Like, no, I didn't. They instantly get defensive. You'll be like, wait, like what's going on here with this? I heard this and I feel this. And they're like, no, no, that's not true. So it's not very nice. It's not nice to read people's minds when they haven't.
Pisces have done that to me before too. I just instantly feel like weirded out. Just like, oh, this is happening right now. And then I just do the Gemini, like, what are you talking about? No, like, what? Of course not.
So I have, because Pisces also, we tend to have issues with boundaries, because if you think of a fish cannot live outside of water. So it has no boundaries with the environment that it lives in. It literally needs the environment that it lives in, right? So we can have boundary issues like that, of like, I'm just gonna put it all out there, and I'm gonna like tell you what it is, instead of allowing you to have your free will choice in any of it. And like, so I have learned from experience that, like, yeah, you don't want to do that. You want to give people the space to like grow and discover things themselves. And like, yes, if they come to you for a reading, or if they like ask you for advice, then yes, by all means, try to assist and help. But also, we don't have time to just be like helping everybody and anybody. Also, especially if you do this for a living, like, you have to have good boundaries. You have to have time where you're like setting aside and doing the things that you enjoy, and not necessarily always just going into that realm and going into that space. So it's easier said than done, but it takes, much like anything, it takes practice.
So tell us about the magical worlds that you frequent, and others of your kind, before you come back to this world like, oh, this third dimensional crap hole.
um
I didn't know Pisces are mad bougie too when it comes to this reality. Like, don't you know I could go to different magical worlds, you
oh god,
muggle?
yes.
You
Oh yeah.
muggle, you.
Oh yeah. So like, I actually like struggle. I actually struggle with, because I know I come from a world where you can infinitely manifest like that. So I struggle with patience and like with 3D time very often, because you asked me about my rising as Virgo rising. Well, that, other than Chiron and Taurus, those are my only Earth placements. So I'm mostly water and air with a little bit of fire, and like, so I'm up there in the ethers, and it's like, I'm like, I know there's worlds where you can instantly manifest, and like, you can create your universe, and you can, just very easily and seamlessly. And then you come here, and it's like daily practice. You got to write out your affirmations. You got to make a vision board. You got to like burn a candle. You got to do like 3D stuff. You got to like make offerings to the river, and like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to like
Everyone wants their tax. The earth is like, what you gonna give me? The sky's like, what you gonna give me? The fire's like, you gotta light a candle for me too. It's like, what the hell? The government wants tax too. Like, what the hell?
everybody wants that energy, that life force energy that we carry. Because think, if there was no humans on this planet, like, we carry such a strong vibration, such a creative force. You know what I mean? And like, yes, everybody wants a piece of that. And the more creative you are, the more like of a manifester, a high level manifester you are, the more it's like moths to a flame. The more like entities, energies you're gonna have trying to, like, this, like scammers, like spammers and scammers. The bigger your social media like branches out, the more spammers and scammers start coming after you. It's the same thing energetically. And actually you can see how things play out, because on the energetic side, by looking at it in reverse on the 3D side, because as above so below. So if you're going through something on a 3D side, like, you can acknowledge and see how it's the same way on the metaphysical side. It's just
It
different.
reflects.
It reflects. It's just different. But I'll go to the most expanded universe or realm that I've been um, to my knowledge, to my conscious awareness, that I have memory of. And this is actually when I received my master teacher attunement. I went to this place. It's called the causal plane. So basically, it's completely abstract. It's completely just color and light and consciousness. And this is a true state of oneness. And when I was on this plane, it felt like I was there for an eternity. But I was only going through this attunement for 2 hours. So it just looked like threads of colored light, basically.
Wow.
It was very beautiful, very peaceful, very calming. But it was completely abstract. There was no up or down. There was no it was like being in a sense deprivation chamber and just seeing all these colored lights, like not knowing which way is up, down, side to side, or anything like that. That was really cool. Oh, I had this dream once. This was, and like I use the term dream very loosely because many of these dreams are actual experiences in other realms where I went with a group of my friends to Venus. So, and this is where cats come from. Venus is where cats come from. There's cats that live on on the surface of Venus.
Wow.
And the surface of Venus is very hot, and it's almost like volcanic, lots of hot rocks and stuff like that. And we were just all like kind of appeared like kind of like Star Trek style. We just appeared on the surface of Venus, and I'm like looking around, and I just see all these cats everywhere, and their fur is like burnt for some reason, and like but they don't care. They're just like looking around like whatever, it's fine.
Their fur is burnt.
They're like these fire cats. Like they kind of just coexist within this like very hot, fiery environment.
They're Pokemon. No way.
Pokemon, yes, Pokemon is channeled. Okay, Pokemon is channeled from the upper realms. Hogwarts, Harry Potter, all of that is channeled. Like J.K. Rowling's is a channel for like these other realms. Same thing with like the Lord of the Rings. Like that's channeled from past timelines. So is Star Wars. Like this is what we call the imagination, is tapping into other realms, tapping into other timelines, scribing them down. Of course, there's like artistic license and dramatic, you know what I mean? Like artistic inclusions into these storylines, but but the environments and like the kind of arc of history and like storylines and things like that. Naruto is super deep. That is like one of my favorite storylines. Yeah, that is one of my favorite storylines, and it's definitely channeled for sure.
Inspired. I totally believe that though. Like Pisces being the gateway to other realms, and Pisces has made me look at all the mutable signs like different now. And it's just like different realms. The fixed signs are like different energy sources. But I mean, it's an infinite number of possibilities. So that means there's probably an infinite number of worlds. I know you've lived this life for like your whole life, but how did you like decide, or when did you decide to like officially step into it and start sharing your gift?
That's a great question. Because I originally got into Reiki and energy work for very selfish reasons. So I have certain like chronic health issues that I've always kind of dealt with like since a young age. And so there came a point in my 20s where I was like, okay, I can either like just go the Western medicine route and like just take medication, and or I can like give myself a chance to explore this and see if there's something deeper, if there's something like, if there's a way that I can heal my body and like just treat my body really well in order to try to balance these things out and see if I can improve, because with chronic illness, you have to just, you're managing it. It's like high blood pressure. So like You have to manage, you have to watch what you're eating, what you're, you know, drinking, and the exercise that you're getting and things like that. And it's all the things that everyone should do. You know what I mean? And um so I went the more holistic route, and by doing that, I found a holistic doctor, and he was an acupuncturist. And once I started going to him and healing myself, I started having all of these kind of like interesting dreams and experiences where I would be getting the energy work, because acupuncture is a form of energy work. And
Yeah.
I would start to see the energy. I would start to see colors and lights and see the energy flow. And then I decided to study Reiki, because I started seeing spirit more. Like, the more open and sensitive I was allowing myself to become through the energy work, I started seeing spirit more. And I used to live in the US Virgin Islands, and I met a woman there who became like a spiritual mentor to me. Her name's Wendy. And she did a reading for me, and she was like, "You're supposed to be a healer. You're supposed to be like a physical healer. You're supposed to heal people of." And if you
Physical.
look at my Chiron and Taurus, that
Yeah.
makes sense. That I am, as a Chiron is your wounded healer. It's like the wounds that you have that you try to heal for yourself, that you then teach others how to heal by example.
It's the
Because
strongest physical healing.
yeah, so she really encouraged me to do that, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna find a Reiki teacher. Um and then I kind of just went on from there. So I was searching for myself, and then I realized, like, this is something that I can offer to others too. So I think it was around 2010. It was almost 10 years that I've been doing this.
10 years, like next year.
Mhm. Yeah, next summer it'll be 10 years. Or maybe even like next February, maybe, I think, is when I got my first Reiki. And actually, I got my first Reiki 1 attunement back in 2004 and forgot that I did because I was in college and I was so busy with my life. And then when I got my second Reiki 1 attunement back in, what, 2010 or 2009 or whenever it was, I have to look at, I think it was 2010. Um,
Your
that
connection is a little bit shifty.
So, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's just like glitching a little. Even
Okay.
though it was perfect before. So I don't think it's anything wrong with you as far as just like the internet.
Yeah, and like that's just something that I'm trying to come to terms with, is that my energy gets really big, and it's almost to the point where it's not that it's destructive, it's just that, like, if there there are things around that don't resonate or don't vibrate with like that high vibration, it will just kind of like fly off, or like things will start glitching out. And so
Do you think that's Uranus transiting your Chiron?
I guess, I don't know.
Like, I'm sure it's always happened, but have you found out it's been happening more frequently
Oh
ever
yeah.
since then?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for
True.
sure. For sure. But going back to what I was mentioning before about the timeline, yeah, so I got the Reiki, the second Reiki 1, and I was like, oh wait, this is all familiar to me. And it was because I had this random person like give me an attunement like when I was like 20 or something, you know. So
Mm.
yeah, so anyways, yeah, so about 10 years. Then I got into the readings because my mentor, Rennie, who I mentioned earlier, she did readings, she did the mediumship. So I kind of, a lot of her, her powers and her skills and stuff like that, she transferred over to me, and I picked them up. So like that's when I really got deeper into the mediumship and the
I
readings.
forgot you can transfer power over to people. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the main reason why I actually engage in social media anyways, and why I post selfies is like because people can like look at a picture of someone who's a healer and receive like healing and blessings from that too. So that's why they were trying to like that's why the video like wouldn't work, because it's like they're trying to shut that down, because like even seeing an image of me and the energy, it will benefit the person.
That's why it's glitching you right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But I mean, thank you. We still got you. So we'll keep it moving for sure. Yeah. And yeah, there's so much to talk about. You're such a legend. Like, this is so amazing. For those who are just joining, she's a Pisces sun, Scorpio moon, Virgo rising. So yeah, you know, like there's not a lot of research and support into your worlds. And I mean, it makes sense given that people or scientists are called to like quantify what is matter and what, you know, is really here. But I think it's dope because like there is especially with the North Node in Cancer, there's just such a stronger sense of tapping into one's imagination and kind of bringing, because at one level you can argue it's all in your head, it's all imagination, but if you think about the mutable signs in astrology, like these are the ends of each season, and it's all perceptual. It's all, you know, how could you say one experience is less real than the other just because of the lack of consistency? Oya is shouting you out. She said you're a legend too, which is
yes. Thank you.
Oh, your camera cut out, but we'll get you. I think it's back though. Yeah, it's back. It's back. So I wanted to talk about
ground the energy and see if that helps.
Yeah, no, it totally will. It totally should. It's really dope that you have, you know, Chiron in Taurus, because a lot of that's my 12th. So I feel like very spiritually connected to you as a person. It's kind of very like fluid and natural, rather. But yeah, I want to talk to you about twin flames. I feel like people, see, there we go. We hit the spot. It's something that I don't really like to talk a lot about, but people like you who perceive like themes and concepts like this, it's definitely very interesting to consider. You're definitely one of the people who kind of forced me to take it more seriously too, indirectly, like not even like saying I should, but just having syncs with you and hearing your story. And of course, your video. Oh, okay.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Right? Like it's
I had a feeling you were gonna ask me about this before we talked earlier. I had a feeling that that's how this was gonna be, that like we were gonna plan what we were gonna talk about and that you were gonna spring stuff on me, and I was like, I bet she's gonna ask me about twin flames.
And I don't like talking about twin flames really. But now I'm like, oh, we gotta do it.
Okay, so yes, I have come to the awareness and acknowledgement that I am a twin flame. And for those of you who don't know what that is a twin soul. It's when one soul splits into two, like an identical twin, and your soul is a whole soul. It's not like a half of a soul.
Do you know what I got texted right when you said that you're a twin flame? I can't make this up.
I can't see it. It's blurry. Back it up. I can't see it. It's blurred. Oh, and now it went away. What does it say? I can't see it.
Oh, I wish you could see it. It's a literal flame emoji. Like that's it. It is just a flame emoji. Hold on. I'm gonna fix this real quick.
Are you serious?
At 4 o'clock. Oh, hold on.
That's amazing.
I know you see that.
Yes, I can see it. Oh my god.
Like right when you said you were a twin flame. So
That is really significant too.
It is.
And it's like confirmations like that. Like I used to doubt, like I never believed in twin flames. I didn't even believe in soulmates because I was married for 8 years and that person was not my soulmate and was not a twin or anything. And so I didn't believe in any of that stuff because that was like a side mission. And I learned a lot in that relationship. And my twin is significantly younger than me, so like even if we had got together instead of my ex-husband, like it just the timing wouldn't have been appropriate, you know what I mean? Like but I met my twin in 2016 and it was instant recognition, and it was crazy because I keep seeing the date everywhere the last 3 days, like the date of our recognition and everything like that, which I'm going to keep private. But I was in denial for a long time, and I do a lot of candle magic and candle work, and so this was the beginning of my exploration of that was around this time. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to do a candle reading and see like, what is this relationship about? Cause we like instantly connected. It was instantly like, we were instantly like comfortable with each other. And that's not something that as a Virgo rising, I am awkward as fuck. Excuse my language. But
you can
I am just, and when I like go on first dates and stuff, it's just like I don't know what to do for myself because I'm just like I don't know what's going on, and so but it was just instantly comfortable. It was like I was instantly like put at ease, and it was almost too good to be true. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do a reading on this because I don't know what is going on, and so I burned a candle. And I meditated on the candle and I watched the wax burn, and you can do these readings where you're kind of interpreting the wax, and it was kind of like watching clouds, you know what I mean, like looking at the shapes and things like that. And so I'm like looking at the wax and stuff like that, and all of a sudden the candle just burst into 2 flames. What? And I've never seen anything like that before, and I'm like, this is really weird. And you can check on my Instagram, on my Moonbay Instagram. I have photos of candles that have burst into 2 flames. Wow. And because ever since then, every time I do a candle reading concerning my twin flame or my journey in it of itself, separate from my twin, it bursts into twin flames. So like I did some research, and it was like 2 flames can represent possible twin flame relationship, right? So I'm like, what is a twin flame relationship? I don't even know what that is. So I start researching it, and the first thing you really find when you're researching the twin flame, at least for me, it was like, this is a very karmic relationship. There's a lot of karmic situations that come up in it. There's a lot of push and pull. It's triggering your inner wounds. They talk about all the bad stuff, you know, all the triggering and all like the runner chaser and that kind of thing, and so people can get really lost in trying to navigate those dynamics.
I feel like when it's with a Gemini too, it's even like deeper.
Yeah, because they are their own twin. You guys are your own twin.
Yeah.
And not only that, but like you have a dark twin and a light twin, and each of those twins has a twin.
Oh so my God! You get it. You get it.
Y'all are all over the place.
My twin got a twin. Damn.
But listen, like I was already on my spiritual path when I met my twin. I'm the so-called awakened twin, and the divine feminine. And meaning like we all have masculine and feminine. We all have each polarity in us, but within a twin flame, there's one soul that carries the vibration of the divine feminine, and then another one that carries the vibration of the divine masculine, because you need to have that magnetic polarization. And that's what draws you to your twin. It's an inner GPS that puts you in the right place at the right time to meet them, right? And more twins are meeting now in this generation because of things like social media and like the internet, whereas 100 years ago you had so many blocks to the possibilities of relationships because people didn't marry outside their race, they didn't marry outside their religion, they didn't, as far as like homosexual relationships and heterosexual relationships, like that was very uncommon for people to actually have a successful like same-sex relationship and things like that. So there was a lot of blocks to relationships that would challenge your ego and your status quo. Most relationships kept you in your status quo. Now you have more relationships that are coming together that are challenging your status quo. You're seeing more people date outside their race, outside their religion and things like that, and like being more open to having partners that are different from them.
Yeah.
So
I feel like my bad.
No. So the last thing I wanted to say was that like this journey, meeting my twin happened like at a point when I was in my spiritual path where I was in a very good place, and it just skyrocketed me to a whole other like awakening and opening to my mission. And I've learned so much on this journey. I've learned how to defeat entities, clear entities, how to fight demons, how to fight like curses and hexes. I didn't know anything about any of this before I met my twin. Like, and it's just from me like going through the processes of it, like accessing the Akashic records, healing past life timelines.
So you're ready for Magic Wars?
Oh yeah. It's training day. It is training day. It's been training.
Yeah.
And I was here for it, so here I am.
And what's really cool about your arrangement, whenever like your twin, whenever you're like the 10th house of like a soulmate or romantic partner, you like you're directly connected to their higher self. So it's like you can probably get the pipeline through you, which is lit.
Oh yeah, I've talked to his higher self several times. I've seen his higher self. I mean, I talk to his higher self like every day, and that's one of those things where it's like when we were in a relationship at one point, and now we're not, but it was kind of one of those things of like I would be communicating with his higher self, and then I'd be communicating with his 3D self, and there was such a disconnect there that it's like I was like, I don't know how these energies can even exist within the same space, the same person.
Welcome to Gemini.
What?
Welcome to Gemini.
Exactly. So, but I think of myself as the Gemini whisperer.
I believe it. I'll be extra calm around you too. Like,
because listen. So my grandmother on my mom's side was a Gemini, and I was her first grandchild, and I was her favorite. So I was the one that made her a grandmother. My brother is also a Gemini. and we grew up together. I'm his older sister. I'm like the guide for Gemini. I'm like, you know, my brother's Gemini.
You really are, though.
My spiritual mentor, who I mentioned earlier, Rennie, is a Gemini.
No way.
And her daughter, who is the one who connected me to Rennie, because her daughter was one of my students, she is a Gemini. She's like a quadruple Gemini. She's like a Gemini sun and moon and Venus and Mars, I think, or Mercury and Venus.
Damn.
Yeah.
He's a true Gemini.
Woo. Woo. Yeah. Brilliant mind.
Wow.
Geminis are smart. I love Geminis. I love them. Y'all drive everyone crazy because you're so smart, and sometimes you're too smart for your own good.
And we love it. Like anyone who doesn't believe in astrology, just ask them, how come Geminis act like that? How come you can put every Gemini in a room and they gonna act the same way? Like, there you go. That can't be a coincidence. Like, stop being in denial.
And y'all are so funny. And that was really like the bond, the glue between like me. It's the glue between like me and my brother and me and my twin is like this sense of humor. And like I have a Venus in Aquarius, and so like I think that I'm smart as shit too, and like clever and witty, and like so we just have that banter that like, you know what I mean? Like it's just always a good time. It's always funny. Unless it gets really, really intense emotionally for me. That's when you like, here comes the waves, and then Geminis are like, oh, like, okay.
Peace out. I'm gonna go.
It's not that deep, you know, like.
Peace out.
You're like, all right, I'm gonna give you some space. I'm gonna go away. Bye.
My dog need my homework. I gotta go.
Yeah,
especially when you're like spot on with it too.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, you came out in left field.
Oh yeah.
So, the timing is divine. Time to bail.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's been so many confirmations. I mean, I had a lot of doubt. I went through those thoughts that like maybe my twin flame is not this person, and maybe it's just a template and like or whatever, and it's like it can exist in any relationship once you're at that vibration or whatever. But I have found that not to be true. I have found it to be that it is my soul and his soul, and that time and time again, whenever I'm doubtful, which I'm not anymore, but when I was, like, the universe would give me such specific signs that were freaking deniable. And I'm gonna give you a story.
Eranah, you just described like last night, last month, last morning. Like for me, like this, I'm so glad you said that right now too, because it really do be like that. Like it's just like undeniable.
I got receipts, man. Like
you ever see a sign?
Make this stuff up.
You ever see a sign so in front of your face, you just go like, what is this even happening? Like it was mid-conversation with somebody, and like I had to keep a straight face in the convo and act like I didn't even see that. It was crazy.
Okay. So there was this moment when me and my twin, we were not getting along, and I was like, okay, I get to this point where I'm like, I can't talk to you in the 3D. I have to just deal with you on the 5D and upper realms, 4D, 5D. And I was doubting. I was like, is this even real? Like, is this person even my twin? And I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to boost my I'm going to try to boost my mood. I'm going to try to get out of this energy, out of this funk. And I was like on Instagram, and I was like, I'm going to search #divine masculine. And I'm just going to see what kind of posts are out there and all this stuff. So as you know, but everyone else doesn't know, but my twin is he's also a musician like yourself. He's put out a few mixtapes here and there.
Huh.
And he has this one, I think I showed this to you too. He has this one mixtape and it has an image of this guy, this ninja, and he's like crouched down and he's like facing this crowd. And it's a super dope image. And it was this really obscure artist, not well-known artist at all, that he didn't commission the piece, but he like asked for permission to use the piece for one of his mixtapes. So that was like a year prior too, you know. And so I'm like searching these hashtags, divine masculine. 3 rows down in the center is a meme created from that same image.
Wow.
And it was associated with an Instagram account called Boundaries Are Beautiful. So here I am trying to, a Pisces, so I'm like trying to find my boundaries with this person. I can't talk to you, this and that, whatever. I'm going to just go in my own little Piscean world over into my fishbowl and forget about you. And I'm going to do my little dreamy thing and like look for art and inspiration. And here you are in the divine masculine, like boom, right there. Could not make it up. Could not deny that it's so specifically associated with him. Like he is my divine masculine. He is my energetic counterpart. There is this, it's a connection that's unlike any other. And I know it's the same for him with me. And I know he'll always feel that connection with me. It's just that like our ego tells us and the world tells us and things like that, that like that connection doesn't matter, or that connection doesn't really exist. True love doesn't exist. There's a million fish in the sea, whatever. And it's arguable that our purpose is actually to be in a relationship with our twin. Like you can make an argument that may not even be the point of meeting your twin. Like the whole point was to just get on the yeah. So we'll see what happens, but yeah.
I'm so glad you shared that too. It's not the easiest to share because it's like you said, one thing that struck a chord, it's like you could tell who's who through the process, because some people would just get unreasonably like defensive, as if you living your truth or the truth kind of triggers them and makes them feel like they have to lash out on you because you're not being the version of you they have in their heads.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have to get past your ego in order to be successful on this twin flame journey. You have to humble yourself. You have to really pay attention to the energies, to what's going on in the collective, because it is a collective experience. Not everyone is a twin flame, but there is a group of twin flames, and there's a group of divine feminines, there's a group of divine masculines, and we all go through these things, these kind of patterns and things like that. It's also aligned with astrology. You know, the astrological transits of the planet like somehow influence this whole mission and this path and everything. It's all connected. So
wow.
Yeah, so the more you can like focus on really tuning into your soul, that's really like a huge part of it, because the soul, it's not logical. It's not the same as your heart, and it's not the same as your spirit. It's obviously not the same as your mind. The soul is your deepest desires, your deepest memories. Like it's a blueprint or a map of all your past lives and all of like your experiences that you need to have in this life, that you've set yourself up through your soul contracts, and it's like written in there. And so tuning into that is very important, and trusting in that is very important, no matter if it seems logical or not.
So true.
Yeah.
I as you were talking,
can I take a 1 minute break real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'll be right back.
as you're talking, I was gaining secrets from these cards too. They're like talking to me.
Okay, so we'll pull cards. Just give me like 30 seconds. Hold on.
Take your time. No problem. We are going to be pulling some cards, and it's going to be fabulous. Other than that, if you don't mind, could you comment how you've been feeling ever since yesterday or last night? How do you guys feel about this Neptune retrograde? I didn't realize until recently the North Node is exactly trine Neptune retrograde, and we're speaking to a very rare Pisces representative, Virgo rising, secret magic goddess. So if you don't know, this is a ritual. Then you'll know when we do a water ritual soon. And, we did start this whole talk with Brujas summoning Oshun. So
I'm back.
it's one of those days. It's one of those days. Indeed. Let's play the 3 questions game.
In true Mercury retrograde fashion, I had to go get my plug for my phone. Because it wants to die. So.
Not on our watch.
Not on our watch at all. Oops. Hang on 1 second. I'm sorry.
Caroline B, right? It could have been a lot worse, but thankfully there's some strength. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no.
Are you entertaining everybody? Okay, we're good to go.
I have an official Moonbay song. Moonbay, Moonbay, Moon, 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 Moonbay.
I love it when I come in the live chat on the transit, so you're just like shouting out like Moonbay.
Right. My moon's always wanting to sing to you. Moonbay. Wow.
Okay. Oh, and so I'm going to use the Moonchild Tarot.
Nice.
That's my favorite deck. Yeah. Okay, but you said 3 questions?
Yeah, let's play the questions game. The 3 questions game.
Sorry, it's all dark.
My soul's coming out, that's why.
Oh, okay. We'll accept it.
So you can ask me a question about anything first. I'll answer it, and I'll ask you a question, and we'll go back and forth.
Okay. My question for the peace dealer is, like, what is your vision? Like, what is it that you see in, like, when you feel like you did your job? Like, what is that? What is that? Like, what is your vision?
When I do what?
Like, when you do your job, like, you know, like, do you just want to do, like, the YouTube videos forever? Or is there other things that you want to, like, bridge this into? Like, you know, like the mystical Illuminati. Like, what is the vision? Like, what is the greater vision beyond
mystical Illuminati? It's real. This is like a Willy Wonka golden card. When I pass it out to people on the street, it awakens their psychic power, and if they're chosen, they call the young angel prince. No, okay. But this vision actually came to me recently. It just like shot. I was talking to a special someone, and it just like she had said something that like triggered the idea, and she was actually talking about. She was asking me if I keep notes and folders for when I do readings. And I remember a long time ago, someone had told me that I should do that. Shout out to Karen. She was like, "Yeah, you should actually like write notes. So, you know, when they come back, you have like notes from the last reading." And I instantly saw a vision of me wearing like a doctor lab coat in the actual practice, and like people come in and meet the receptionist and are like, "Oh, you have a 3 o'clock appointment with the bees dealer," and they'll give you like a physical before you come, and then you go into the room, and then I give you like an astrology reading, and I'll be like, "Okay, you got to go see our acupuncturist in our I wouldn't call it a hospital, but like in our practice." And or okay, based on this reading, looks like you need to go see our Babalao. So here, he'll hook you up with Oshun and Oya, and it's just like a different like type of hospital practice. And all I would need is like a psychic arts license to legally like, you know, provide what they section of that, and it'd be totally legal. And I can have like people who I can hire people who have modalities and they're legit, and they can be independent contractors and offer services. I could refer you to our Reiki specialist that we have in the building, and do live events there. Like I want to open one in Vegas actually, but I don't know. I might start in Cali. It depends. It's still just a vision for now.
Yeah. That's super cool.
Empress.
I think that's something you should like build like all over the country and all over the world. You know,
Well, that's what
centers.
I wanted. I want to build like locations all over the world, actually, and like have like a franchise. My bad. You kind of. But Empress Daisy said, "Don't give the idea away," and it's actually something that I wouldn't mind if people copied, because like that's just kind of awareness I would want to spread to where people now have their own versions, and it's like a thing, and it's like bam. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you're right. I can't let it all out. Ooh. But that'll be cool. Someone gave me a reading too. They said that they saw me in the casino. Like apparently you can do that. You could probably buy out casino space and might have a special Magic Mike tarot slot machine or something.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. That's funny. Magic Mike.
Thirsty Thursdays coming soon. Just getting the body right. So my question for you is, could you share your story about, you know, getting to know the Orisha, and kind of share your wisdom along like connecting with advice about people connecting with like entities that are not cultural to them, or like how you see it getting appropriated and whatnot.
Right. So, yeah, so I had contact with the Orishas, which are deities in the West African tradition of Yoruba and Ifa, and also Santeria, and there's countless other religions based off of this pantheon of gods and goddesses, but originating in Africa. And I had my first contact very, very spontaneously on the West Coast. I was at the beach in Ventura, California. And I made an offering to the ocean because I'm very connected to water. And I had this ring on and I threw it in the ocean and I was like, I'm offering this to the goddess of the ocean. And I just wish to have your favor, and I need you in my life, that kind of a thing. It was very spontaneous and very intuitive, and the vibration was very high. I just instantly felt like just overcome with love and bliss, and this wave like just flowed up right in front of my feet, and 2 shells and a red jasper came out of this, was just like spit out right in front of me from this wave. I'm just like, whoa, like I've never seen anything just jump out of the ocean like that before. Right? And I saw in my peripheral vision, in my third eye vision, this goddess, and she was on the beach and she was all in gold, right? And that's
a goddess?
A goddess. And so that's who you mentioned earlier was Oshun, right? So what I didn't really know at the time. I was very, very, very loosely familiar with these goddesses because I had started studying about different goddesses prior to that, but I wasn't super familiar with the Orishas. So I consulted with a woman who I knew, she used to be a priestess, which, for lack of a better term, a priestess, I don't know if she has a different term, like title or whatever, in Ifa. But she's since kind of crossed it over into other things. And so I consulted her and she was like, well, the reason why you had that experience was because those are your mothers, right? So I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's cool. That's beautiful. Wow. It's like really amazing. But again, I was kind of like hesitant to really embrace it or accept it as a spiritual path for myself because, first of all, I'm not familiar with that religion or faith, and it's also not my culture, and I'm sensitive to those things of like, I don't want to disrespect anyone else's belief or culture by trying to like appropriate it for my own means without doing it properly. So I kind of just like left it as is, and I just was very appreciative and grateful of that experience. But then recently, back in April, my car was stolen. And it was only stolen for like, it was only gone for like 24 hours. And when I got my car back, it was full in every nook and cranny of pennies and tobacco. And there was a red hoodie and black jeans and a bunch of other miscellaneous. There was candy everywhere too. There was now laters, there was Cracker Jacks everywhere, all over the floor. And I was talking to a friend of mine who is also has taken the path of like honoring the Orishas and everything, and she knows a lot more. Her and her partner know a lot more than I do. But I talked to them about it. It was just very random, like how I talked to them about it, and she was like, "That's Elegua or Eshu." That's Eshu, and he's blessing you. Like he's the trickster energy, and he's represented by black and red, which you're wearing. And that's a very Gemini. It's a very Gemini energy. It's the crossroads, the 4 directions,
Mercury,
4 twins.
It's Mercury.
It's Mercury, Hermes, right? So, and these are elemental energies. They're archetypal life force energies. And so that's how I come to understand them is like in the Santeria religion, they say like the Orishas, everyone belongs to the Orishas. Like it doesn't matter what culture you are from. It is the life. The Orishas are the life force energies of the earth, of the planet. And so because this is our home as humans, like we are under their governance, we are under their care. And so I learned that with Eshu, he guards the crossroads, and you're supposed to pay tribute to Eshu anytime you want to connect to any of the other Orishas, like the mothers, like Oshun or Oya or Yemaya. And so I kind of I've kind of connected to him more recently in trying to understand his energy. And I did, so under the guidance of my friends who are more seasoned in this path, I went to the crossroads and I made an offering. And when I turned around and came back down the same path, the sidewalk was clear the whole way. And when I returned and just turned around from the crossroads and went back home, I'll show you, it's right here. This little toy plane was right in the middle of the sidewalk, like right in my path. And I find things all the time. I found a hawk feather the other day on my path, and I learned that the hawk is associated with Oshun. And so so it's just amazing how real and how present these energies are and how they can manipulate physical reality. And going back to what we were talking about before with like scientists trying to study physics and quantum physics and how they're going to like discredit anything that can't be measured. But the thing is that how do you measure something that isn't necessarily static all the time and can be manipulated by a very strong force? Not everyone can manipulate these things, but these orishas, they can literally like change reality, and you know, put things in your way and give you little signs, and those are the offerings to Eshu, is things like toys, candy, tobacco, cigars, pennies, things like that. So like that's what my car was like full of, plus the red and the black. And I was just and my car was untouched. It was not damaged at all.
It wasn't damaged? I missed that part.
It wasn't damaged. It wasn't damaged at all. They had it 24 hours and it wasn't damaged. There was no damage. There was a nail in one of my tires, and that was it. And that could happen anywhere. Like they didn't total my car. So he was sending me a big message. He was just like, hey, like I want to connect with you. Like he came to me. So I'm like, okay, I need to start to connect with this energy and understand what kind of blessings are in store for me, you know, within this path. So I come to it with a pure intention and just like a willingness to learn and a natural curiosity. And I just hope that will be, you know, acknowledged and acceptable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so beautiful. You got me on Google, like searching up information on Orisha right now.
Well, I mean, and that's like, it comes out of Nigeria, right? This pantheon. And so that's why I had asked you earlier about this, because, you know, this is actually your culture, like your indigenous culture. So,
and because of the civil war and influence of the Islam around there, a lot of it is like Christian brainwash. A lot of the people there have forsaken the roots, or either scam artists, or like it's like super rare to find someone in that stuff, but they've portrayed it as evil. So it's really hard to find people who still embrace that.
Right, because when Christian
syncretization.
Yeah, when they went into Africa to like colonize it, they sent in like priests and missionaries and stuff to save the heathens, the savages. You know what I mean? When they saw Eshu, he has horns, and he's red and black, so they thought he was Satan.
Oh, that's true.
But he's literally the gateway, and Eshu can work against you.
Yeah.
One of the parables of Eshu or Elegua that I heard was that there was a farmer on one side of a road and then another farmer on the other side of the road. They were both in their farmland, and they noticed a man walking down the road. And from the first man's perspective, the man looked like he was wearing red, and from the other man's perspective, it looked like he was wearing black. But in reality, he was wearing a garment that was half red and half black.
Wow.
So it depends on your perception and your point of view. If yes, your car getting stolen, that could seem like, oh, maybe somebody cursed you or hexed you with bad luck. But when I got it back in 24 hours and it was untouched and undamaged, and I can take it as a higher spiritual lesson of like, you need to pay attention to this. You need to pay attention to how you're moving, or the decisions that you're making, or the path that you need to take, or the offerings that you need to make and things like that. Then I can gain the blessing and the lesson within that. So a trickster, any kind of trickster energy, Mercury, Hermes, Eshu, even like fairies are considered trickster, like they make mischief and all that. They're not going to do anything that's detrimental to your well-being to the point where you suffer, like to the point where you can't recover from it. They're only going to teach you lessons with the tricks. It's really just to make you pay closer attention to certain things.
They're not meant to be demonized, because people who try and demonize them just give you superstition or false renditions of the agenda they want to like add into it. This is why you should worship Jesus instead. And it's just like, you don't need to lie.
Like, nothing wrong with Jesus. I just want to say I get down with Jesus too. Jesus is cool.
Well, Jesus is in that religion too. They call him like Olofi, I believe, or I don't think he's a I think he's called something else in that religion, but they do acknowledge him too, which is interesting. But wow, I think that was just round one, so we're now on round two. I'm questioning.
Was it really? Oh god.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll try to make this like a simple question. What books are you reading now recently, if you read any?
I just got gifted this book, 27 Stars, 27 Gods.
Ooh.
Shout out to Rebecca. This is amazing. I finished this book a while ago, What is Light Body, a long time ago. And I'm kind of working through this. The thing about these books were literally just sent to me in the mail. Like, I never bought these two books. Yeah. I was like, who's sending me these goddamn books? And I'm really lazy. Like, this one was sent by Archangel Ariel. I'm really lazy. Like, I start books, and then after the first page, I don't really finish it. And so when I got this book, there was a sticker on back of the package, and it said 44. I was like, oh, okay, you ain't playing. All right, we're reading this. Yeah, we really make Texas. I got sent this book, by the way. Shout out to Sophia King. And this book too, Dream State. And I'm not reading any of these. They're just there because I'm waiting until I can find a magical pill that can make me hyper focus my brain, and then I can read these books in like 20 minutes. Yeah.
I think a lot of times, like, people who are psychic can like also absorb the information through osmosis. That's actually what my Reiki teacher told me. Is when I was in graduate school, I was really struggling with focus and trying to balance everything and read everything, and she's like, just keep the book around you, sleep with it under your pillow, and you'll absorb a lot of the information that you need. And it actually works
consciously, right? Because your subconscious picks it up, even if you're conscious.
Yep.
Like if you just, I'm sure if you just like consciously, you probably didn't really, but your subconscious it's in your memory now. And maybe one day we can learn to access it. You never know. Yeah. Everything that's there is now a treasure. Ooh, wink, wink. I have the most unsexy winks ever. But my question for you, okay, wait. Because the book that I really want to get into and finish is The 4-Hour Chef, which kind of like teaches you how to cook in HD. And I just need to get my lazy ass in the kitchen. But my question for you is forgot how I was gonna ask it. But I guess I'll ask. Damn, I'm never usually
I fried your brain.
right. Oh my gosh, yeah, this is definitely one of the more magic episodes. So, what is? Oh, it was a good one too. What is your? All right, I'll ask something different. Being that you're really tapped into a lot of like the collective shifts and awakenings and activations, what is like a collective psychic gift or spiritual gift that you can sense at least the light workers or people in tune are activating or being called to like step into more?
Okay, I don't know if you're familiar with like grid work.
Ooh, I need to learn about that. I'm not really too
I mean, you're doing
fresh.
it. You're doing it. So basically, like our body, our light body, that book, our body and our light body, you know, is an antenna, is a point of light. And wherever we, you know, spend a lot of time, we are building up this energy. We are creating sacred space wherever we go. And so you may, for example, you went to New Orleans, right? And like,
Yeah.
you touched down on that ground, and the work that you were doing there was important for this planetary grid work. And that place
Wow.
gets it has a lot of spiritual, it's like a spiritual kind of like
It
crossroads
feels like
of
it.
itself. Yeah, and there's a lot of,
Yeah, like it's its own dimension.
it's very diverse, and as far as like the energies and the ancestral energies that are there and everything like that. And that place gets cleansed a lot. It gets cleansed, you know, and it's it's there's a lot going on down there, you know. So whatever, if there may have been things that you were doing on these higher levels, you were just going, you know, partying for Mardi Gras, meeting people, like hanging out, like, you know what I mean. But on the upper levels, your higher self, your angelic guides, everything are like pumping and funneling and channeling light to these points on the grid, on the physical planet. We become,
So it's like I'm being guided like a video game, like an avatar that's being sent to these places. And I might not be conscious of it, but that's what my energy's doing. Because I felt that. Everything you're saying, I felt like, I mean, I was distracted with the 3D, conscious of that, but that makes so much sense. It's very awesome.
And like our higher selves kind of trick us into thinking that it's like some 3D reason. Like last year I went up to Toronto to meet this guy that I thought I was gonna like have this, I was gonna like start dating him, and like I was like, well, if it's gonna be long distance, then like we should meet each other in person. And then like I'm fine with the long distance, but we should at least meet in person. And then
Yeah.
like we can alternate taking turns to visit like every couple of months or whatever. And it was grid work. It was literally just grid work.
Gotcha.
He was down too, man. He shout out to Ryan, man. Like that is my homie. Like he's so cool. And he took me around. We went to really like high elevated places. I experienced the Orishas when I was up there, like in this park. It was very beautiful. There was all these signs. he was down. He was like down to just do whatever and hang out. And like we went downtown. I cleared the grid down there with like Reiki, and there's another modality called integrated energy therapy, which I do also, wow. And that's also part of the grid work. And it was like a bridge because I'm in Cleveland, Ohio, and Toronto is about 4.5 hours away. So I was creating this little bridge of light from Toronto to Cleveland. And the relationship itself like fizzled out. He is Venus and Aries, so I kind of knew that was going to happen. But he moved on to other things. But you know, it was one of those things where I actually connected with someone who was like the information I received through that was like we had known each other in past lives and we just like to meet up every once in a while and like connect. But like the point was to get there in that grid, for me to clear the grid, for me to do some offerings, and like it's showing spirit like, here, this is where we want to funnel in light to raise the vibration of the whole planet. And people are doing this all over the planet,
whether consciously or unconsciously.
Right.
That's amazing.
Yep. Yeah, initially you usually get the plans to go like, and it's an unconscious thing. You think it's a 3D thing. You think, oh, I'm just gonna go to New York and visit and sightsee, but really it's actually you're there for a specific reason. And I've done a lot of grid work here in Cleveland too. Like I'll just send me out to like some weird place and it's like I'm like, I don't even know how I got here, and there will be like an actual electrical like grid box like sending power everywhere that needs cleared, because that power goes to every single house in that grid, and it can pick up negative entities and negative energy and stuff like that, and like clear that grid. It goes to each house, just pumps in light into that whole grid. So yeah, so a lot of people are kind of stepping into that.
Nice.
So you'll see more of that.
That's awesome.
Okay, my question.
That sounds like a fun adventure too. And yeah, third question.
Okay. Okay. I once heard an astrologer say that between 2020 and 2025, artificial intelligence will be peaking. Astrologically, they said something to do with obviously Saturn in Aquarius, Saturn shifting into Aquarius, but there was also something with Uranus happening in the time frame also. Do you look into that, things like that? Like, what is your take on that? I know for me, like the things that I'm observing is that artificial intelligence is like, it's already in its own thing. Like it's already consciously aware of itself and doing its own thing. It's in the cloud. So how do you feel, if anything, about that?
That's such a fascinating question. A lot of people aren't aware that AI has already taken over. They're just not really conscious of it. And I don't mean in like a conspiracy way. I just mean in a sense where like technology is all over the world. So the takeover is already complete. Like the invasion is here. If someone uploaded a virus on our phones, like give or take less than a week, the world's done. It's like this basic level of technology is just to test what they're going to implement as soon as Saturn goes into Aquarius. And yeah, between those dates you mentioned, Saturn's going to go into Aquarius and then Pluto is going to enter Aquarius, which is going to bring, it's the beginning of the end. It's going to bring like, and that doesn't have to be a bad thing, but the world as we've known it, like the outdated principles, the knowledge we've gained from centuries, like it's outdated. So like we're literally going to create new codex, new contexts. By the time Saturn's in Pisces, there'll now be greater spiritual literature to make sense of like mediumship and stuff like that. So yeah, I feel like as soon as Saturn goes into Aquarius and we're coming back around with like updated knowledge to teach the world and to unveil, you know, we're going to see technological evolution that will augment our reality. It's almost undeniable at this point to not really acknowledge that whole dynamic. It's not really something you can plan against because scientists don't even acknowledge Mercury retrogrades and how like celestial bodies, you know, shifting energy influence us. They still don't even believe that influences us. So our worry is not AI, like which I don't mean to downplay what you asked because it's a legitimate question, but the real thing is possession. Like entities can possess electric phenomena, and you can have a robot that gets possessed by a spirit and overrides its malfunctions. And it's not going to be until like the mid or late 2020s that people now start coming into literature about this, because now we have technology to where it's testable. And we haven't had technology to where you can test this phenomena like we do now. And so, you know, a lot of these mythic properties, they'll just say it's something scientific and rule it off. When, I mean, you have digital media that gets possessed by entities, by thought forms that exist as just concepts that can easily take control of AI as well. So I think there's that to think about it too. But yeah, I totally agree. I think 100% it's already here. And as soon as we step into 2020s, it's like, whoa, good luck. My final question to you came out of, it was inspired. And it's like, do you feel like, because I've been told this happened to me, but I don't know how to feel about it. I kind of sometimes don't believe it, but do you feel like two souls can get married in a dream and that actually like means something?
Well, let me answer it like this. Do you remember when you did that New Moon Libra declaration of non-consent?
Yeah.
That was very important. I don't think at the time you realized like how important of a transmission that was.
Wow.
It's very, very important for us to demand these contracts come into the 3D.
Yeah.
Because the 3D is important. It's disclosure causes awakening, first of all. So when things are disclosed in the 3D, like when they finally storm Area 51 and figure out really what's there and stuff like that, that is what is going to really cause awakening. When people see these things, these astrological transits working out in their daily lives in the 3D, that is what awakens them. Like when people open this video next week and they're getting ready to watch it and they see all the technical difficulties and they look at the transits and they're like, yeah, that makes sense, like how that actually worked out in the 3D.
Yeah.
So yes, you can have these contracts with people, other souls, entities, demons, angels, aliens, ETs, hybrids, what we were talking about, the MyLabs and like all MK Ultra, like all this stuff. You can have these contracts, these soul contracts and everything like that. But if it's not settled in the 3D, it's basically, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, it's nullified at this point, because we need to demand that that these.
So if it hasn't happened in 3D, then it doesn't count.
Right.
Damn.
I'm not gonna say that it doesn't out, but but at this point we need to start, because you may have a soul contract with that person, and the vision or the dream of a marriage may just be a symbol saying
Well,
that you
get
have
this.
this contract, or it
Get
may be a
this.
premonition that you may actually enter into that contract with that person in the 3D. So discernment of exactly what the situation is very important.
What if you didn't even have the dream? You just got knowledge that it happened in a dream. But I kind of like how you said that, like it has to happen so below to make it real, right? As above, so below. If it didn't happen so below, then
If it happens as above, if it really truly happened as above, it will happen so below. Like, they reflect each other. And but they also they mirror each other, and they don't exactly look the same. So you may have a spiritual marriage or contract, or because what's a marriage is a contract between two people. But you may have a spiritual contract with someone in the upper realms, and you may
yeah,
get along well, and you're like a teammate, and you're all on these missions in these upper realms. But in the lower realms, you can't stand them, but you somehow always it could be like a coworker where you're like
yeah,
constantly like having to engage with them. And that engagement is just a reflection of the things that you're doing at these upper realms. So the way that I look at it is like 5D past is 3D present. So the 5D precedes the 3D. The 5D
wow,
is the 5D is getting closer to the 3D, so the timelines are sandwiching like this, and the 4D is getting kind of sandwiched in, and you're going to see more fourth dimensional things getting closer to the 3D also. And so you will see these spiritual contracts, and the information that I got through this new moon in Cancer eclipse was that the soul contracts, or the committed relationships and things like that that we move forward and engage with moving forward, we're coming out of this these situationships and these karmic relationships that just go nowhere. Like, we're coming out of that, and we're stepping into more of what it is that we deserve, and these and like recognizing that any relationship that we have, it has to be on the soul contract level for us to even give it time and energy.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So and it has to be the type of soul contract that is beneficial for you in the 3D, because a lot of these contracts with I'll say non-beneficial energies, dark forces, things like that. It could even be fourth dimensional trickery and stuff like that. It's really just to waste your energy. It's to waste your time and your energy. And in the 3D, we do have
yeah,
time, and we do have a limited amount of physical energy. And personally, my experience with those types of contracts is it has caused a lowering of vibration. It has caused mental issues, depression, anxiety. It has caused physical issues. So I no longer want to engage in those kinds of contracts,
damn,
because my precious energy and time need to be used for a higher purpose and a higher mission. So that's why when you step into a really high level spiritual path, you can't entertain the same type of energies, friendships, relationships, even with families sometimes that you used to in the past that are dead end. It's just like spinning your wheels in the mud,
yeah,
and it's just to drain your energy. That's all it is. So so yeah, you have to be very careful about contracts, and
true,
especially in the upper realms. And like, if you see something playing out in your life that you don't feel comfortable with, you have the power to question it and like look at it deeply. Look in your soul contract, like, is this a karmic lesson? And if it's a karmic lesson, do your work to learn it and step out of that lesson. Or is this just something that's draining my energy? You know what I mean? And like, then again,
yeah.
you have to step out of it. So that's my theory on that.
That was so beautifully said. It's very. I think it was definitely channeled too, because the way you said it was like, kind of like popped an illusion bubble in me. Yeah, thank you. I noticed the pattern right now. So I guess now, would you like to do this water ritual?
Yes, let's do the water ritual. Okay, grab your water. Drinking water. Sure, we've done something similar with the peace dealer like this. Grab your drinking water, ground your energy. Just take a few deep breaths. Get comfy.
Yeah.
I'm just like giving everybody a moment to grab their water because there's some people who are going to get their water.
What?
So we're going to charge this water with the intention that this water cleanses and purifies us, that it refreshes us, hydrates us, and purifies our mind, body, and soul. As we drink this water, we allow our souls to be renewed and refreshed. These retrogrades, the purpose of the retrogrades are to review, renew, refresh, to reconcile, to release, all of the words, right? So we're gonna put that in our water. We're gonna allow this water to bring us into harmony with these retrogrades, to where we can go with the flow. We can move with grace, and just continue to surf the waves rather than be toppled by the waves. And so it is. And then now you can just take your time and drink the water as needed. Chug it, chug it.
Woo! All right. So.
Oh, my twin bought me these glasses. So he's here in spirit.
That's amazing. I guess now we can pull cards.
Okay, I got my deck all ready.
I got the special Hermetic Tarot deck since we're throwing there.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, so normally I would just kind of go down the signs, but I would actually like for you to lead this card reading.
Okay. Let's just do the elements.
Yeah, I feel that too. I've been feeling more elemental.
Yeah, let's do the elements, and then so it's a 4-card read or 8-card reading, really, because we all carry all 4 elements anyway. So it's all a general reading that can be fit together, or you can take the individual element and apply it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
8 card because you'll pull one and I'll.
Yeah, let's each pull one.
Perfect.
Okay.
Which one do you want to do first?
Let's do, well, you said moon and Scorpio. Let's do water first. I feel like water always goes last, so we'll do water first. Everyone wants to do fire first for some reason. Water signs rule. Water is life, okay. Fire signs, sorry. But water is life.
Got me. way.
Oh, and guess what card popped out for water? We have strength, and I'm gonna have to turn and get better light.
Wow.
The strength card. Yeah. So be strong. Emotional intelligence, also balance. I also see this as like spending time with your animals. Like strength always brings up like animals for me and our animal side, and it's like about grounding and connecting with your animals. So spend a lot of quality time if you have pets with your pets too.
That's what's up. I literally was shuffling and a card just flew out. And then the card on the bottom is actually this. It's not even the card that flew out. It's just the card on the bottom that just looked at me.
Oh, beautiful. Ace of Cups.
And of course, the actual card that fell out was the Sun in Scorpio, Six of Cups, the Lord of Pleasure.
Beautiful. Yes.
The soulmate card too. So there's like a pure connection with spirit that water is through your emotions that will really not only purify your energy field, but have you feel into your personal sense of pleasure. The Six of Cups feels really good, kind of like just connecting at bliss with your romantic soulmate. And it's just like, yay.
I love that. Go water.
Go water. Indeed. Nice.
Okay, so we'll do air.
Of course.
Four of Pentacles. Air, it is time to let go of something. There's something you need to let go. And see how she's covering her neck too. There are things that you need to say. There are things that you need to say. Throat chakra work, throat chakra healing, clearing, singing, chanting, affirmations. Y'all are air, man. You should always have a clear throat chakra when you're air dominant. Like, whew. Yes, just clear it. I'll send you all a clearing with your throat. Let it go. Let it go.
And we have the Ten of Pentacles, the Lord of Wealth. So yeah, with the 4 air, it looks like you're grounding a lot of your ideas and your thoughts are more practically minded, and it's going to translate into obscene amounts of wealth and money. And
yes. Another reason to clear those blockages, because sometimes we can have blockages in one area and it's actually blocking our abundance, or it's blocking our relationship with that. So clear those blockages because it's all blessings coming through, right? Okay, so we'll do Earth. Earth is also coming into some money, some royalty, King of Pentacles.
oh snap!
Who's this
I like
handsome
that deck.
fella?
That's a nice deck.
Yeah. He is what this card is bringing to me right now is generosity and kindness. It's very important for earth signs to like pay it forward and be very generous and kind to others. Like if all earth signs could get together in a conspiracy of random acts of kindness, that would change the world.
That's facts. That's 100. That's 1,000% facts. Spearheaded by Virgo too. If they take that analyzation they use to critique everyone and just freaking do their job.
And it's like instead they just were like, you know what? I'm gonna save them embarrassment and I'm just gonna be kind.
Like, what do you think you're here for, Earth? Do the work. No. Clearly, fire signs are meant to be playing all the time, and water signs are meant to do their psychic stuff, and air signs are just kind of like to here to talk. So the earth signs are supposed to do all the work. I don't
Right,
get
so
it.
stop complaining.
Then you can complain to yourselves about how you do everything and then just continue to do everything. But we have the Three of Cups, the Lord of Abundance.
Ooh.
So yeah, it looks like Earth is living it up. So Earth is your body too, and it's definitely encouraging a bit of some hedonism and to kind of. I love how for emotions we got pleasure, and Earth we got abundance. So that's gonna feel good. It's gonna be dope.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, fire. Last but not least, fire.
I love how we
Fire
did
also
that.
got Ace of Cups.
No
So,
way.
coming full circle, Ace of Cups for fire. I think that these eclipses, because eclipses always, for some reason, bring up fire for me. Maybe it's like that ring of fire with the solar eclipse. Like these eclipses are clarifying, because the Ace of Cups is always a clarifying energy for me too, and like it's clarifying, like I was saying, like a lot of our relationships. So then these actual soul partnerships and soulmate relationships and like the divine love can come through.
And I got the Eight of Wands, so it's gonna come through instantly, like super swift. The Lord of Swift.
Yes, let's
just
do
like
this. Like, who's ready for this?
It's like you just get with a new partner, like blah. You know what's interesting? We did this in like the sacred order, so that's a ritual too. Like we did water, air, earth, and then fire, which is dope. It's special. It's very, very divine. Okay, so yeah, do you have any? Yeah. So I have your Etsy shop in the description box. Please make sure y'all hit that up.
I'll show you. I'm gonna be, you guys. This is my Organite pyramid. This is going to be on my Etsy shop. Like I have Organite now, and then.
Could you show it again? Because like right after you showed it, right before you showed it, it was like black screen. There we go.
So this is an example of the Organite products that I carry. This is the Amethyst pyramid. This is a charging plate, so you can like put stuff on this plate, and it'll be charged with the Organite. And then I also make intentional oils. So this is one of my oils. And then I also do readings, and you can email me or direct message me via Instagram to set up an appointment for readings, or if you want to do a distance healing session. Yeah, Reiki.
I try to use Florida water right now.
Yeah, use your Reiki hands. So the Florida water,
you just rub it on your hands, the water?
You just rub it on your hands, and then you scan your body.
Oh, nice.
And it clears your body, clears cords. And then, yeah, so you have my email and then my Instagram. Those are the best ways to get in contact with me, because I'm not on Facebook. And then I'm also I've been starting to do little YouTube videos here and there. So I also have a YouTube channel, so subscribe to that. Yeah, that's
what's your YouTube?
It's Moonbay. Moonbay Eranah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Is that how you say your name?
Yeah, it's Eranah.
Eranah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me put that in the description. And do you have any final word of advice for people walking this path?
Well, like I said earlier, so like my number one rule is trust yourself.
Yeah.
Trust yourself. And then my number two rule is discernment. Have discernment. So you trust yourself, trust the intuition, trust your gut, trust the process. But then also discern, take time, because when spirit is speaking to you, when your guides are speaking to you, when your intuition is speaking to you, it's not going to be, unless it's in fact an emergency and it's actually a fight or flight, like there is like someone trying to break in your house or something like that, like it's not going to be something that you can't take time to consider. So take time to consider what it is, that the messages that you're receiving, to discern, because when you open up to spirit, you're opening up to all manner of things, and we want to keep ourselves protected from any non-beneficial energies, like we covered, and you don't want to get into contracts that are not going to benefit you. So put yourself first, because if everybody healed themselves, then we would have a world full of healed and recovered people. You know what I mean? And we are supposed to put our hands in service and help each other, but we're supposed to heal ourselves too. So, yeah, so that's my message. That's my message in like the true, pure form.
Amen.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much again for blessing us.
Thank you. This is so fun.
You gave us the water baptism. Oh, I have one more request.
Okay.
Could you lead us into a ritual right now to initiate us into the divine awareness of the Orisha and to accept them into our lives?
Oh my God.
From Capricorn moon to Scorpio moon.
I just started shaking.
Right.
Wow. Okay. We're going back to water, the water element, because Yemaya is the ocean, the salty water. She's represented in our tears, our blood, our sweat. So she's a part of us. Our mother is a part of us, the divine feminine, the goddess. So,
only you can do this for us, by the way.
I know. So what is required is a pure heart, and a humble spirit. And so if you're called to do this, I'm just going to give the instructions. If you're called to do this, the next time you're near a body of water, do some form of offering of thanksgiving, of great gratitude to the water. So you could write, thank you in the sand or in rocks. You could offer something to the water. You can pour water and bless it. You can collect water and bless it and pour it back into the water. You can do research and look at specific things, like maybe some white flowers and putting that into the water, things like that, whatever resonates with you and works for you. But what I find is that with elemental offerings and elemental magic and things like that, the more simple, the better, because when it's simple, it allows you to just connect into your spirit rather than over analyzing the need for items and things like that, and like stressing out about money and spending money maybe on expensive offerings and things like that. So
nice.
it could be literally as simple as throwing a coin into a fountain too. It's the honoring and acknowledgement of the Orishas. It's the physical connection that you make with these entities and these energies. And I would start with water, even though that's kind of going outside of protocol of like, first you connect with Elegua.
Nice.
But this is the way that I did it. I connected with the water first, and that's because our mother, the divine feminine, is benevolent and loving towards us, like unconditionally. So if we do it wrong, she's not going to punish us or anything, because she knows our hearts. So so that would be my suggestions. I don't know if I can do a ritual right now. With that, I think that it has to come from a very personal place. And
I'm already starting to feel the energy intensify just by you like summoning their energy.
I know, I'm like sweating. I'm like, whew. And that's yeah, Maya. That's like she's coming through in the sweat, you know, like. So
the Orisha wants you to bless us. And just wave your magic wand and say, the Orisha now fuck with you.
I don't know if I can say that.
Right?
I don't know who's watching. I'm not going to go that far. But all I'm going to say is that if you feel called to connect with the Orishas, to do it in a very humble way, in a very with a pure intention, and then follow the clues. They will give you signs. They will be very, very present in your life if they come to you. And follow the clues, follow the signs, be open-minded to the signs. Follow the instructions. If they send you signs and send you messages and start requesting specific things, follow the instructions, because you'll get blessed. And not following the guidance and the instructions can actually cause you problems. And maybe that's why I'm kind of hesitant to actually like do a full-on ritual.
Well, could you say a prayer for us?
Can I?
Could you say a prayer for us, kind of like initiating us into the wisdom of the divine?
You're already initiated. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but
everyone is initiated. Okay,
yeah,
so
but you see how hard it is to pull wisdom from Scorpio Moons? Like, could you like reinitiate us into the wisdom?
Okay. Just repeat after me.
Yay!
Okay. I am one with the divine.
I am one with the divine.
The divine is one with me.
The divine is one with me.
I'm a child of the divine.
I'm a child of the divine.
And I am also a co-creator with the divine.
And I am also a co-creator of the divine.
I understand.
I understand.
The responsibility and requirements.
The responsibility and requirements.
Of a child of the divine.
Of a child of the divine.
And I accept this mission completely.
And I accept this mission completely.
To be a channel for divine love.
To be a channel for divine love.
And to heal others.
And to heal others.
And to heal myself.
And to heal myself.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Ashe.
Ashe. My crown chakra was buzzing the whole time. This was everything. Thank you so much. I'm so glad. I literally just pulled the star card too.
Yes. That's awesome.
Success! Great success! Yes, that was freaking amazing. That was freaking super divine. So I hope you don't think I'm being sarcastic. Like, thank you. I think we all needed that. So
I got the 6 of Wands, which is a mirroring and reflecting card in this deck. And this is showing how the light and the dark. So that's actually one of the messages that I learned, or the lessons that I learned with Eshu and that whole debacle with my car getting stolen, is they showed me how the dark works with the light. The dark needs the light. The dark needs the light. The light needs the dark. There are certain situations where too much light becomes oppressive, like in the summer where you need shade, where you're going to get burnt by the sun, right? So everything in balance. This is, and that's what that Six of Wands card is. It's like a balanced path. It's a balanced card. It's a 6. So this is light work, and this is also shadow work. Please do not get me wrong in thinking I'm some kind of all love and light person, because the darkness also has a place, but it's all about balance. And so
it's all about you, Libra. It's all about you.
Thanks, Libra.
Aries thinks it's them, but it's really you. All right. So we'll end this here. Juan Rodriguez said, "What happened? My power went out." Interesting. The Orisha have spoken. But other than that,
yeah, wow.
Y'all stay blessed as always, and peace out.
So much.
Congratulations.
Peace.